Blah here, and welcome back to Star Theory. Today we're looking at the M50, the old pretty racing ship that was introduced with the recent Murray Cup update. Now, it is a pretty ship, as you can see in front of me, and it's a racing ship, to sum it up. I mean, it's kind of like a boat, if anything. Well, I think it's got a lot of boatish features, like the panels on the front, and, well, kind of like, there's a few things on the back as well. Hang on, if I can get around there without going into mag boot mode. It's so slow. Right, yeah, I'll get there eventually. But as you can see, it's quite nimble, it's lightweight. It's more like a kind of F1 car than a kind of, well, power car, I say. If you want power, go for the 350R, pretty much. Oh, no, I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in. Well, anyway, as I was trying to show you guys, if you look here, you can see the that little circular thing there in the middle of the screen. That's kind of what you see on the boat, so that's kind of why I say it's a boat. That and the front panels, so it might actually faster moving in. I think it's only in certain areas I can actually walk. Okay, I'll just go on this side. So as you can see, this is a trainer variant, and that's the one with the missiles and the guns on it. Now it does come with the guns normally, although I have to say on the racing ship I don't really see why you would want guns on there. I know they said they're introducing like a shooting mode, but kind of seems a bit unrealistic for a racing ship. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe they're just trying to liven it up a bit, make it a bit more Mario Kart-esque. But to me, guns and racing just don't really mix a great deal. Yeah, so it's pretty much quite well equipped. It's the second fastest at the moment. The 350R is slightly faster, but in terms of consistency, this is, I think, by far ahead in that respect, because people can generally do the laps and get the same time every time with this one. So, also, this one isn't upgraded, unlike the 350R, which I think is. So, I think that's something to consider as well. I think the 350R has actually got more base stuff than the M50, so come actual persistent universe, this ship might be a lot more upgradable than the 350R is. Now, there is a slight bug, you can see where it's kind of moving around on here. But it's a lot prettier place in the hangar to do it, so I figure that's why I show you here. Now, what else is there? Well, the guns at the moment are gimbaled on there, which makes sense, because they tried it when they were fixed beforehand, and it was nigh on impossible to shoot anything, so it's kind of good that they're on that. And the missiles, I'm thinking the missiles are probably only on the trainer variant, although don't quote me on that one, because they might add it onto the other one as well. It has got a lot of fins on it, which is kind of odd for a space fighter, I presume. But I mean, it kind of makes sense when it's in atmosphere, but considering most of the time it'll be in space, I don't know. I kind of feel like there should be two kind of variations of it, one without wings for space and one with them for atmosphere kind of stuff. I kind of get the feeling that that'll be more optimal, especially in terms of racing, but I don't know. It's up to them. I guess stability wise it makes sense, and you never know, Murray Cup might have some kind of rule where you can only use one kind of set across all the courses, so that would kind of make sense in a way. Yeah, what else is there? Well, it's around, I think it was $90 when it was launched. Well, it was $90 on the last sale. I think it was $80 to the one before that, the first sale, where it would be LTI. So it's gone up in price a bit, and I imagine next sale they might increase it again. They have said they're going to generally make things more expensive the longer it goes on, just for people that back and stuff. I don't know if that's true with the sales from now on, because it was kind of released for a while. If you're looking to pick one up, though, I'd wait for the November sale, because that's when they're most likely to be next available. Because, well, it's most likely when any ship will be available. So if you want any ship, wait for the November sale, because that's when they'll have their anniversary sale, and I think they'll probably bring out most of the ships again, so might be one to think out of. I think that's more or less all I can show on the outside. There is some other things, like there's a cool ladder animation, you've got all these lights and stuff, and the kind of racing graphics. Now, from what we've seen, like, because they showed all the initial graphics for it, and you can quite easily find them on the site, these are all kind of customizable, so skins wise there's going to be a lot of them in the actual game, a lot like the AMD Mustang, which has just come out as well. Okay, so if we climb up here, you can see the kind of like hand railings come out, and once you're in the cockpit you've got a lot of kind of stuff in it. Last time I did this it kind of crashed me, so bear with me here. You can see it's quite a small cockpit, but you wouldn't expect anything that big. Right, let's just take off. Oop, that wasn't take off. No, there we go. I crashed. Well, as you can see, the damage states, they're quite pretty, and they're kind of like shining nicely in the light there. And it's quite detailed. I mean, you still got the same kind of issues with other ones with parts sticking together when they're not actually stuck together, if you know what I mean. Right, let's just fly away into open space, and I can show you a bit more on the inside of the cockpit. Now, the UI elements up there, I don't think they're going to stay forever. I think they're literally just going to placeholder for time being, a lot like the Aurora's current ones, because you can see these kind of panels here, and I feel that's where these two like side panels are going to pop up there. I'm not sure where speed's going to go. That might just stay in the middle, but I feel like that'd be quite cool once it actually comes. As the rest of the cockpit itself, it's a lot like all the other ones. You've got the buttons and everything. I mean, it's quite small, but at the same time, it doesn't feel overly small when you're actually in here. I mean, sides maybe, but in terms of length-wise, it feels quite long. If anything, you'd expect most of this stuff to be closer. There is a few bugs with the canopy. I think they've still got a fix on these. I know they've been fixing on bug smashes every now and then where you got your head popping through the canopy, but I think this is just something I'll get to eventually. Yeah. So, don't know so much else to show. I mean, you can see the guns here. Well, they're not actually working. Actually, I want tab. Alright, there we go. So yeah, the gun's gimbal, kind of move where you shoot. Now, it used to be where they were kind of fixed forward, so I have to go like this. It used to be pretty much like shooting like this, which was somewhat difficult when it came to actually shooting stuff, because it's made it a bit impossible, I must say. Handling wise, it is pretty awesome. I mean, in terms of handling, I think it's probably one of the best ships out there. Well, I say that, it's also quite twitchy with mouse and keyboard. I find it a lot easier with HOTAS myself, and I'm not using it at the moment because there's some sort of bug with the X55 where it kind of sends you in full reverse. I'm not sure if that's the X55 or if it's just something to do with the control configuration, but it wasn't doing on the other patches, so I'm thinking it's just the latest patch that kind of did something on that. Yeah, so handling wise it's pretty awesome, but it also tends to black out a lot. I just lost a wing as well, so that's no doubt going to affect it somewhat. Hit shift and you can turn like a knife edge. And once again, there's more pretty damage states for you guys. And I don't think there's really that much else. Wow, spin away. Yeah, I think also one thing to note is I think you might be able to add this onto the Constellation. In the P52 is currently on there. Ooh, that's close. The P52 is currently in the dock on the bottom of the Constellation, but from what they were saying earlier on, you would be able to attach the M50 into that dock. And if so, that would make it quite cool as like a pretty much just take your M50 to the races in the Constellation, which would be quite cool. Although saying that, it's small enough to fit in more or less any of the larger ship's cargo holds, so if you did want to take it in another ship, I'm sure there'll be some way you could kind of just like insert it into a Freelancer Max or something along that line. I'm not sure if it fits into a regular Freelancer, maybe. It's quite a small ship, so it's quite a possibility. How you get it in there, that's another question, but yeah. Now, is there anything else really? Combat wise, well, I've lost both wings. I've lost both wings and yet oh wait, no, it's still there roughly. I'm on by a shoestring. Not sure when that happened. Combat wise, it's not the best combat wise. I mean, capture the core is brilliant, don't get me wrong, because you can pretty much take it through anything more or less, and not many people can catch you unless you've got like a 350R or an M50 themselves. It has some missiles, but I think that's only a trailer variant. And so yes, as I was saying before I got interrupted by the phone, in terms of persistent universe upgrades, I'd say it should be quite interesting what they do with it. I mean, of course, mainly there's racing, but also I'd imagine it'd probably make quite a good info runner as well, depending on what kind of stuff they add for it. I mean, you wouldn't be able to do jump points, obviously. I don't think they're allowing jump points for the M50, and to be honest, though, a lot of people are kind of saying, oh, we want jump point. What am I saying? Jump point. Jump drive. That's what I meant. Although a lot of people are saying, yeah, we kind of want jump drive on it. At the same time, it doesn't really make sense. It's a racing ship. It's not going to go through jump points, is it? I mean, come on. You can't have everything on everything. So, in terms of short range info running, I'd imagine it would probably be quite a good one, because nothing can, well, not many things are going to be able to catch it, put it that way. And in terms of going through like hard spaces, it would probably be quite good for that. So it kind of depends on what they add for upgrades for it. I mean, Yeah, racing, maybe a light recon fighter or something along that line, if you could upgrade fuel and stuff, because I can only foresee that it'll be quite low on fuel as well. As most racers generally don't account for all that kind of stuff. Yeah, other than that, I don't think there's really that much else. I mean, it is pretty much a dedicated racing ship, so if it's something along that line, then yeah, sure, I'd imagine it'll work quite well for it. But other than that, I don't know if it'll be as useful, so that's something to bear in mind if you're thinking about getting one. Yeah, so that more or less sums up all I can really say on the M50. So if you found the video useful, or you feel like giving any more feedback, then feel free to leave it in the comments below. Like, favourite, subscribe, and feel free to follow me on Twitter, and that's @Kaplar. So Kaplar, however you want to say it. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.